Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Tuesday after a holiday weekend, all of our guests today brought to you by our title sponsor, Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. We're joined now by the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers as of last week after 2.5 seasons as head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, Rick Tocchet. Rick, thanks for doing this, sir. I know you're busy. How are you?
Good, guys. How you guys doing? You guys are going to probably think I'm idiots after this interview. But why did I leave? Because I'm just going to be a very, very positive experience. I was in Vancouver, so you guys will think, "Why the hell did you leave, you idiot?" So that's what's going to happen.
Well, can we start there? Why'd you leave?
Man, just a little bit of a fresh start. Get back east. Couple of some other little things, but like I said, my experience. I was there 2.5 years. Incredible experience. The market, the fans. I mean, I live downtown. I used to walk the city. Just incredible people. And like I said, it's hard to explain why when all these positives. Obviously, the ownership, Francesco, and the equity were unreal to me. Jim and Patrick always be lifeline friends. So, and obviously the players did a hell of a job for me. So it's hard to really tell you guys why. I just felt it was the right decision for me.
Are you doing this interview from the Flyers practice facility by any chance, Rick?
Oh, no. No. I'm at home. I'm here in Vegas, and I was there, though. It is nice. I will tell you it is nice.
Was it a factor?
Listen, I'd be lying if it wasn't. I mean, and it wasn't. It's not that bad in Vancouver. The UBC is nice. It's not horrible. But it is. I will say the Flyers facility is a state of the art. It's got an 8,000 square foot gym. It's got all the amenities. I mean, they've spared at no expense, and it's a good tool for a coach. It really is.
Hey, Rick, it's been less than a year since you won the Adams Award. I think we're 2 days from the anniversary. At that point, I don't know if the Canucks offered you a contract back then. Did you think you were going to be in Vancouver long term? Not that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, things went well. I mean, like I said, and it's a team award that Jack Adams, I owe a lot of people credit for that. Really excited about going into this following year. I thought we were dialed in, and a lot of things, and actually we're too bad. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're 14-7-3 after 25 games. So we're still pretty good, and then obviously some things hit us, and we and I know, and coaches don't like to use excuses, the injuries, but we couldn't just regain the momentum that we had last year, and a few things hit our team, but we just couldn't get traction. Like I think the most times that we lost 3 or 4 game losing streaks, but we could never get more than 3 game wins. We just couldn't get traction. So would I've known? I thought I would be in Vancouver for a long time. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, when you say you were hit with a few things, obviously that leads to Pedersen versus Miller. Are there things you would do differently now, looking back?
Well, I mean, you're always trying to evolve as a coach. I'm always considered myself a really good communicator. Whatever generation, I mean, I've whether it's a 20-year-old or a 50-year-old, I've always been communicating with any generation. In that situation, I don't know. I think we exhausted a lot of things, and I said this before, and I meant it in my heart. I don't think there's a bad guy in this. I think, whether it's sometimes people have you have a bad divorce or something like that. Can the couple do something before that? I don't know. But like Jim said, I mean, it hit our team, and it's my job, my responsibility to try to make it work, and we tried. I probably could have did some different things. Maybe got to it a bit earlier. Maybe in training camp. Maybe there might have been some bumps and bruises early. If I dug my heels in the sand a little bit, maybe I could have done that. And then maybe it could have came to a decision a lot quicker. I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs. I really think a lot of guys tried, though. A lot of people tried.
Rick, would that situation, or how would that situation have been handled back when you first entered the National Hockey League, 1985, with the Flyers under Mike Keenan?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've all evolved.
Yep.
You know, it's a tough question because I'm not saying dealing with it back then would have been different. Probably would have been a lot harder. Probably a lot more people involved, a lot more veteran players really getting involved. So I'm not saying that was the right way back then. I think today's athlete with social media and there's a lot of mental aspects to this game, a lot of outside noise. So you're dealing with players with a lot of stuff on their plate. So you got to really handle it gingerly sometimes. So that's a tough question. I mean, obviously, a lot of things back then's a lot harder. Obviously, the people didn't really care about your feelings back then.
Hey, Rick, how happy are you for Adam Foote, the new head coach of the Canucks? He said that Rick Tocchet's the guy that gave me my chance. He really went out of his way to say that Tocchet helped me a lot.
Yeah. I love the guy. I'm so happy for him. I mean, listen, a little bittersweet. I wish he was coming with me. But listen, great choice. Great guy. He is so evolved as a coach. I knew this day would come where he would be a head coach. Smart guy, great relationship guy, knows that organization inside and out. So all positives from my end. And we still talk today. I mean, he's gonna help me. I'm gonna help him. Even though we're on different teams, I really want to see him be successful because that city deserves a winner. They really do. The fans deserve a winner, and I hope they get it.
You went from assistant to head coach. It's not easy. You go from good cop, bad cop, all that stuff. How hard is it to make that transition from assistant to head coach?
Yeah, I think I'm just going for my time in Pittsburgh. I had a great staff with Mike Sullivan, Jacques Martin, Gonch was there. So for my role and Footy's role, and I gave Footy I got Footy a lot of autonomy. Like he did a lot of stuff for me. It's not like he just was in a box. He ran the D, he ran the PK. If I had issues with some players, he was right there for me. Sometimes he would take a load off me. But now Footy's got to deal with the media. He's got to put a staff together. Listen, I know everybody laughs like somebody said like, oh, the media chased me out of town. I love the media there. There's no problem with the media. Like it's the biggest fallacy I've ever heard. Like to coach in Vancouver, like other cities crave attention. They want to be on the front page. So if you want to be on the front page, you got to deal with the sort of stuff. And I thought it was a great situation. So Footy, I gave him advice. I said, these guys, you got to make sure you don't be afraid to educate them or explain things. And sometimes they're going to take a shot at you, and you got to be able to have thick skin. But just as long as they respect it and you respect each other, it'll be fine. I think that's the one thing Footy's going to have to, it's a daily thing, but he's got to put a staff together. I hope he surrounds himself with some really good people. He's lucky he's got Patrick Alvin as his GM because Patrick's one of the best communicators I've ever had, and obviously the support by Jim and Francesco. So he's got a good start, and he's got some really good. And listen, like I'm walking away from. They got great goaltending. Their defense, and they'll probably even improve it again. Is there? They're going to be in every game. And we all know we got to find some sentiment, just like us in Philly. We got to find some sentiment too. That's just the nature of the game. You got to try to find these guys.
Rick, you have never quit in anything in your life. Look at the way you played the game, one of the best power forwards in the National Hockey League. A lot of fans understand why you left. Yeah. But some are saying, hey, embrace the hard, meet pressure with pressure, and they think that you quit on the Canucks. What are your comments about that? What do you think about those that say that?
I understand it. I listen. I can explain to them. I'm not a quitter, but I understand where they're coming from. Sometimes in life, Rick, you have decisions you got to make, and you hit the crossroads, and you got to go right or left. And sometimes you make the right decision, sometimes you don't. You got to go with your conviction. And it wasn't a quit thing; it was just something I felt for me to evolve, and just in my life, this was the right decision. And there's other things, I can't. I'm not going to dive into it. I just feel like this was the time. But I understand the passionate fan base, man. They want a winner. Like, there's no better, you want to be in a pressure cooker because the rewards there, if you can win in that town, the rewards are just, I mean, I picked Vancouver. If you win a Stanley Cup and all the 32 teams, I would say if the top 3 or 4 cities, Vancouver is in one of them. If you won the Stanley Cup, how they would react to the celebration, just the aura, it's just, I mean, I can't even put it in words because we went to the second round, game 7.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe what I saw outside the city. So can you imagine winning a Stanley Cup there? I can't imagine it.
We see what happens when they lose a Stanley Cup around here, Rick.
Yeah.
Hey, with all that, with all that in mind, what sort of reception do you expect when you come back to Vancouver?
Oh, well, I think I got booed when I got here. When I got here, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But I'm used to that stuff. Listen, I get it, and whatever reaction you get, you understand it. Listen, I was in Philly. I mean, I was with Pittsburgh. I went up for the draft, and I had to announce the first pick. Jim Rutherford wanted me to. He was the GM, and I got booed. And I played there, a lot of years, and I had a pretty good relationship with fans. So, hey, fans want to win. I mean, look at Toronto, Game 7. They couldn't get over the top. The fans' displeasure. It's the pressure cooker we're in. But it's who doesn't want it though? I mean, who doesn't want to play or coach under pressure?
Talking with Rick Tocchet. Rick, both Rick and I are involved in, or have been involved in minor hockey. And when you talked about Elias Pettersson having to move his feet, it took us aback because that's a minor hockey thing. I'm sorry to say that. Can you envision him getting his game back?
I do. I'm from the bottom of my heart. He's going to have a bounce back year. Even when I was deciding to come back or not, we spent some time. I mean, he was in the gym. We had some long talks. Listen, he's got to get. Listen, he's a great kid. He's got to get his confidence for himself, but also his teammates. He's got to get the teammates to have confidence in him again. I made a comment like a month or two ago about reprogramming, and people freaked out in the stadium. And what I mean by reprogramming, like PD likes to slow the game down a little bit. In today's game, it's a lot evolved. If you guys are watching the playoffs, there's not a lot of room.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of tic-tac-toe and take it back. It's straight on hockey, and it's beating pressure. And PD likes to come back and play kind of that slower game, and I think it affected him. Like, I know that he wished he came in better shape last year, and I think he'll be more prepared. But you got to play that style. And so when I'm talking about reprogramming, I was talking more of coming back, getting the puck and taking off, or when in the power play when he gets the puck on the side there, when you beat pressure, that's the time you attack. And you learn from the McDavids, and you learn from all these top level players of Crosby's where when they beat pressure, I mean they're attacking. So I think he just got. That's what I meant reprogram. It's just kind of. He's just going to event his game a little bit differently. I know he had 100 points a few years ago, and everybody wants to, how do you change a 100-point guy? Well, you got to evolve. I don't care who you are. And I think that's what I meant. But the kid's going to have a good year this year. I really believe it. Footy's going to really help him, I think, with the relationship. That Footy's really good with relationships. And I think PD's, he's had enough. He's taken it. And listen, we all get kicked in the ass, and we all take the heat. We get praised too, right? When he was playing well, he got praised. When you're not playing well, you're going to get it. Same thing with me. I won the Jack Adams. I got praised. Last year it didn't go our way, and you get some criticism. So you got to deal with it. That's the business we're in.
So looking at the 4 teams left, Rick, what type of lineup works in today's NHL?
Well, I mean, we're a copycat league, right? Yeah. So you look at Florida. They went to the finals. They won the Stanley Cup. Now they're the Final Four. A lot of depth. Paul Maurice, it's a very straight-on hockey. I mean, they talk about people in Vancouver give me crap about dump and chase. You watch Vancouver, or Vancouver, you watch Florida, they rim the puck and they get the puck in deep more than any team. So they're winning that way. I'm not saying that's the way to win, and I was a dump chase guy. I mean, you got to coach your personnel, and I really believe Florida plays that style to a T. They got terrific pressure players. Matthew Tkachuk plays under pressure. Sam Reinhart, Verhaeghe, you go down the Barkov. You just go down the list of those guys. Getting a Brad Marchand who's great under pressure. And that's coaching, right? Getting your players to play under pressure. But they're going against a Carolina team that believes in what they're doing. They've I think they've had two teams. They had a rougher ride as maybe, so they might be not as battle tested and maybe a little more fresher. And then you go Edmonton. I think Edmonton's. I mean, I thought Chris Knobloch's done a hell of a job with that team since Game 3 when they won that game. He's used their bench. They're playing. Paul Coffey's done a hell of a job. He's playing 5D half the time, and that defense is playing well. And then obviously Dallas. I'm a big Pete DeBoer fan. I think he's done a great job there. What's the Final Four, 6 of the last 7 years, and the guy's been fired twice. I mean, look, then you wonder why I wanted to get a 5-year deal, right? You know what I mean? You need security. You got Pete DeBoer getting fired twice, being a 6 out of 7. And so, anyways, that's my take on those 4 teams.
Hey, Rick, cliche question for me. I think I ask it of everybody, but do you have a message to Vancouver hockey fans?
Well, since I got off that plane when I remember me and Footy got off that plane, a little nervous going into this market and what we had, but all the people that helped me and you know, the staff of Vancouver, the CMAX, the Brownies, Victoria, our trainers. I can go down the whole stuff. Megan, like who worked. I don't even. It's like I'm going to get an Oscar or something. I want to name about 50,000 people in here, but the fans, very passionate. I know the media, the same thing. I'm rooting for this team to be a winner. I really am. This ain't a cheesy farewell, but this fan base deserves a winner. And I know from the bottom of my heart that ownership is trying to get them a winner. They'll do whatever it takes. And I hope it works out for them. I really do.
Flyers Canucks next year's Stanley Cup final, Rick.
Hey, I would take that right now.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
You definitely get booed then.
Yeah, so would we.
Yeah, you're right. That's okay. I'll take if I get the finals, I'll take it. They can throw batteries at me. I don't care. Who cares?
Speaking of Philadelphia,
I just want to get in.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, this has been great. I know you're very busy. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate coming on the platform. I know you guys got a great show, but at the platform, just want to kind of show my appreciation to the fans and the ownership and everybody. And sometimes things happen in life, and like I said, nobody's a bad guy. Sometimes you just move on, and that's the way it works out. And hopefully, I try to explain myself.
Can't thank you enough. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All the best, Rick.
You bet.
All the best.